creepy people, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the intro, this is going to be the April 2019 horror pack unboxing. So I want to ask you guys a question because a lot of you like when I say hello creepy people. So should I make that my intro for every video, or should I just leave it for horror pack unboxings? Let me know up in the poll, up in the corner. I think it's this one or this one. I don't know. I can never seem to get it right. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yes, in today's video, of course, we're going to be unboxing 4 new horror pack movies from the April 2019 box. Again, this is a little bit late, but, you know, life is just crazy, especially when, you know, you have 2 dogs, a job, you do YouTube, and a personal life, and just everything. But we're finally here. We're finally doing it. And, of course, before we unbox the 4 new movies, we're going to be reviewing the movies that we got last month. Now, they were very interesting. A lot of them were not my favorite, I will say that, so I will give you guys a full in-depth review. If you guys are new to these kind of videos, basically Horror Pack is a horror movie subscription service where every month you get 4 new DVDs and or Blu-rays, and they're all horror movie genre related. If you guys are interested, I'll put a link right at the top of the description box. Again, it's not an affiliate link. I'm not making any money off of your clicks. Basically, it's just a link for you guys to easily go, and they have different payment plans and different monthly plans, or, you know, however you want to pay. So it's really cool. I personally really like it. Building my horror movie collection is something that I will probably make a lifetime thing. I love horror movies. They are my all-time favorite genre of movie to watch. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and review these movies that we got last month. So the first one I really want to review for you guys, if you remember last month, the movie She Kills, which had a very interesting description on the back, if you guys remember, Firecrotch. So basically, this movie is all about a girl who was sexually assaulted, and then she discovers that she has some sort of magical evil pussy that basically kills anyone that she comes into contact with down there. So this movie was the most cheesy, most ridiculous movie I've ever seen in my life. First off, it wasn't as graphic as I thought it was going to be because there is a rape scene, I guess you could call it. The rape scene wasn't anything graphic. It wasn't anything disturbing. I did have my hand on the remote to like skip the scene if it was going to be too graphic. But it was honestly kind of comical in a way because, like, you know, they weren't really, like, they had their pants on. They were basically just, like, dry humping, I guess. Like, I don't really even know what to call it. And it was really weird because, like, as they were doing it, like, this group called the Touchers, they were, like, kind of acting like monkeys. And it was just, it was absolutely ridiculous. And then basically after that, she kind of uses her, you know, her kuka to kind of go out and get revenge on these people. And she definitely does. The revenge scenes were kind of cool, I guess. The special effects and the way they did her down their area, so it didn't have to be rated NC-17. It basically looks like they took a fake beard that you would wear like on Halloween and just glued it to her pubic area. It looked absolutely awful. Like, if you're one of those people who doesn't like to shave, like, I get it, that's fine, but this girl had, like, a fucking forest down there of just really awful looking hair. It was just so freaking cheesy, and it was, like, I don't know, it was just such a weird movie. Special effects were okay, the makeup was okay, the acting was absolutely horrible, especially the girl in this movie. She just had a very cheesy way of acting. I don't know if that's like the goal that the director had for this role, but yeah, it was very B-movie, it was very cheesy, and it was just really fucking weird. Like, I found myself laughing a lot throughout this movie. And this guy right here in particular, he had very interesting facial hair. He basically had like a mustache that went down all the way onto his neck and like wrapped to his nipple hair. It was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. I was like, what the hell is this? Moving on to the next movie that was kind of similar to that was Chillerama, and this is basically a bunch of short films. Now, all of the short films I absolutely hated except for one, and this one was actually really good. Out of everything that I watched from last month's horror pack, this particular short story was the best one. And it was basically about and I'm not even fucking kidding you when I say this, literally about a mutant sperm, yes, you heard that right, sperm that basically grows to like 100 times its size, and it goes around and starts killing people. I'm not even kidding, that's literally what this was. That one by far was the most entertaining one. It was funny, it was great, it was entertaining to watch. The CGI of everything was kind of very cheaply done, but at the same time, I really did find myself enjoying it. All of the other short films in this movie were not very good. I really didn't, like any of them except for that mutant sperm story. Basically, it was like a doctor helping this guy. He gave him like a medicine, and every time he would get aroused, basically, the mutant sperm would come out and get bigger and bigger and bigger and basically just kill everybody. I know that sounds crazy, but you can't make this shit up. Like, it is an actual thing, and it was really freaking good, honestly. I can't really say anything more. It was fucking great. The next movie that I was probably most excited to watch was The Pyramid. Basically, it is about a group of researchers that find this pyramid that has a lot of history, and they finally find an opening to go inside the pyramid. So the first thing is they send this robot in, and it's kind of creepy in there, and things kind of run past the camera, and they're like, oh my god, what was that? All of a sudden, the camera basically gets destroyed, so all of the researchers go in together to try to find this really expensive camera. And once they're in, they find themselves lost and a bunch of weird shit starts happening. Now, I had a lot of hope for this movie, but this one really disappointed me because I feel like they had such a great opportunity to make it super scary, to make it super eerie, and at the beginning it was, but without spoiling too much of it, the only thing I will say is giant Egyptian cat zombie things. You see where the disappointment is here? Now, there were a couple jump scares that I personally really did enjoy, but basically the whole story, the cover is very, misleading. You think it's going to be a bunch of, old Egyptian zombies coming to life and killing people and just that, typical horror movie stuff, which I was really looking forward to, but what it actually turned out to be was very disappointing. The acting, especially this girl right here, she's the blonde in the movie, her name is Nora. Her acting was horrible. I was like, girl, come on. You couldn't have done any better. It was an okay movie. Definitely not something I would go out and buy. Not really a movie I would recommend unless this sort of Egyptian pyramid stuff kind of interests you. And then the very last movie that we had in last month's pack was Army of Frankensteins. Again, out of all the movies that I watched, this one probably didn't keep my interest the most. Just not my type of movie, not my type of thing. The makeup and the special effects were pretty decent. I will give them that. It was pretty good. But again, the acting, meh. The storyline, meh. So those are the movies that we got in last month. So now we're going to unbox the April pack, and hopefully we have better luck this time. So again, we have 4 new movies in here that we are going to unbox. And the very first one that I'm going to take is the one on the very bottom. And the very first movie from the April 2019 horror pack is, dun, 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 this one is Cabin Fever Patient Zero. And on the bottom it says The Birth of Fear. I really, really enjoy Cabin Fever. It is one of my favorite movies to watch. I really enjoy it. Basically, it's about a skin virus that gets passed around and it kills you. It basically eats you alive from the outside in. Really good movie. I have never seen this movie. I have heard of it, but I have not seen it. I'm almost positive it was on Netflix for a while. I could be wrong. So on the back it says, a group of friends plan the perfect vacation in the Caribbean. But when they head ashore to explore a remote island, their ultimate bachelor weekend dissolves into their worst nightmare. After an ill-fated swim in contaminated water, they stumble upon a seemingly abandoned research facility where a deadly flesh-eating virus has been unleashed. The only people left alive are a handful of secretive medical personnel and Patient Zero, who is Sean Astin, the lone person who has been exposed to the disease and shows no symptoms. Can they find a way to survive and escape, or will the virus consume them in a bloodbath of chaos and carnage? So this sounds really interesting. Again, I don't know if I will like it as much as Cabin Fever, because to me that is a classic. That is a movie I really enjoy, so hopefully this movie is just as good. But as always, we will have to see, and I will have to let you guys know next month what I think of this one. Alright, and then the next movie that I'm going to take is the one at the very top. The second movie is Way of the Wicked. And on the bottom it says, Evil Never Dies. So it looks like this is a religion possession type movie. On the back it says, An Unholy Secret and Inhuman Evil. And this has Vinnie Jones, Emily Tennant, Jake Croker, and Christian Slater. So I've never heard of this movie. It was made in 2013. So on the back it says, Christian Slater stars with Vinnie Jones in this heart-stopping supernatural thriller. After a series of inexplicable murders sweeps a small, isolated community, Father Henry goes to a local police detective with a theory on why the murders are occurring. The two learn that a troubled teen with a dark past has recently moved to town and has set his sights on the cop's beautiful young daughter. Father Henry, who turns out to have secrets of his own, finds himself pitted against a demonic force more diabolically evil and twisted than any of them could have imagined. It sounds pretty interesting. I really do like thrillers. Those are really good movies to watch. I find them very entertaining. Yeah, this one I have a lot of hope for. I'm hoping I really do like it. Again, 2 movies in a row that I have never seen. I haven't even heard of this one before, so I'm hoping it is going to be good. So that is the second one. All right, so we have 2 movies left in here, but first I just want to give a little side note. Have you guys seen the Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron? I watched it yesterday, and it was seriously so freaking good. I will say, though, if you haven't seen the Ted Bundy tapes on Netflix, I would watch that first before you see the movie, because I feel like the Ted Bundy tapes kind of give a little bit more of, like, insight and information about Ted Bundy himself. That way, you'll be able to understand the movie a little bit more. So, but it was really good. Zac Efron did a really, really good job. I loved it. So anyway, moving on. The next movie, it looks like we have one with a slipcover, and I'm really curious about that, so we're going to pick that one. And oh my god, I literally just watched this movie. So this one is called Don't Knock Twice, and I kid you guys not, 2 days ago I just watched this movie on Netflix. And I can basically kind of give you a rundown on what it's about. Basically, it is about this house where an old woman died who is rumored to be a witch. And if you go and knock twice on her door, basically her soul kind of comes after you. So on the back it says, when a troubled teen, Chloe, defies a local legend's warning and knocks at the door of a long-abandoned house, she unleashes a horror beyond her darkest nightmares. The vengeance of a relentless child-stealing witch. With nowhere else to turn, Chloe heads for the country home of her estranged mother, Jess, a recovering addict who is desperate to reconnect with her daughter. Now, mother and daughter must once again learn to trust each other if they have any hope of surviving the relentless force shadowing Chloe. A well-crafted thriller that's rooted in the real world but dipping in toes into a Brothers Grimm fairy tale. Don't Knock Twice is the wellspring of your next nightmare. So I will probably watch it again. Alright guys, we have 1 movie left. Let's hope it's a good one. So the very last movie is probably going to be a Horror Pack limited edition. And sure enough, it is. This one is called... Oh my god, what the fuck? This one is called Rotten Tail. Hippity Hoppity Homicide. What the fuck? So here's what the cover of this one looks like. It basically looks like a giant rat bunny. Yeah, it's got to be a bunny because Cottontail, Rotten Tail. So this looks like a giant killer bunny. Oh my god, these are so fucking funny. I love movies like this. This was made in 2019, and again, it is a Horror Pack limited edition, so it's not going to be anything like, you know, with a multi-million-dollar budget or anything like that, but let's go ahead and see what it says on the back. So on the back it says, Rotten Tail tells the bizarre tale of young Peter Cotton, who grew up in the town of Easter Falls and loves rabbits. Go figure. Her science project on a rabbit breeding is ruined when the school bullies beat up his rabbit. Years later, the kind but still shy Dr. Cotton works steadily and gently with his rabbits to cure human infertility. Unbeknownst to Peter, the military is this work, developing fierce soldiers with strength far exceeding a human of their size. And with Peter's fertility serum, the ability to breed in the field, Peter discovers the true nature of the experiment and attempts to stop it. But in an accident of poetic justice, a bite from an experimental mutant rabbit combines with Peter's own serum to transform him into the evil Rotten Tail. So, yeah, basically I guess this is supposed to be like a kind of movie that was supposed to be around during Easter time, or Lord only knows why. But that's what this movie is about. I am definitely very curious about this to watch. I think out of all the movies, I'm probably most interested in these 3, and I definitely will watch them. And this one, like I said, I literally just watched it on Netflix. If you guys want to watch it for yourself and you don't own this movie, it is on Netflix. Go ahead, look it up, watch it. But yeah, guys, that is everything that we got in the April 2019 Horror Pack. Let me know what you guys think of these these movies. Which one out of all of them was the most interesting to you? Which one out of all of them would you watch? Again, thank you so much to Horror Pack for sending out these packs every month. I absolutely love doing these videos and I love growing my horror movie collection. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, give this video a huge thumbs up. It really does help me out a lot. Make sure you go down and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos from me. But as always, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye!